Now let's talk to Filipino rescuers deployed to respond to the Turkey-Syria quake.
Joining us now from Adiyaman, Turkey is Urban Search and Rescue Medical Doctor, Dr. Ted Esguerra. Good morning, Dr. Ted, and thank you for joining us.
Right, Dr. Ted, it's been a few days since you were deployed to Turkey, and it does appear that you are really in the thick of things. Kamusta po ang mission so far? Where are you exactly, and what are you seeing there on the ground?
We are actually beyond the acute phase, which is 0 to 4 days. So it's considered the subacute, which is a category from 5 to 14 days. And in a temperature which can reach from 0 to -3, usually in the urban search and rescue scenario, you will have a very, very narrow margin of survival because of hypothermia. So people can die when their core body temperature drops below like 34, even below 32. And the worst one is below stage 2, like 28 degrees centigrade. So your heart starts to go into arrhythmia. And imagine you are under the rubbles, and because of conduction, malamig masyado. So any victim, kasi ang hirap ang type of collapse na nakita namin, despite the fact na sa Philippine contingent, we are really loaded when it comes to skills and equities. Since I'm with the MMDA, I'm the doctor there. So we have this live locator, we have drone. You can see the style of the collapse. It's like a pancake vertical collapse. So imagine you have to reach the upper pavement, and then you have to bridge the next pavement, on top of each other. So it's really quite tough. We've been working. There was a situation that the 525th Engineering Brigade, the 505 Philippine Air Force, the SBMA, and then of course the MMDA. Umabot kami ng 3 o'clock in the morning. And when you work in that kind of temperature, you easily get exhausted because there's some sort of a dumping of the food that you eat because it's so cold. The body consumes much sugar in producing heat. Plus nagtatrabaho ka pa straight. Tapos yung pinagtatrabahoan namin, as in grabe yung alikabok. Kasi because of the rubbles, and it's not only one building. We have drone shot, actually it's like a heavy thing na hindi namin makasamasin. Ang destruction left and right. First time in my life sa isang international operation where I'm used to respond, na I saw the massive destruction. And it's so tough. It's not only emotionally or physically, but also emotionally. But what's the good thing about what's happening in our team? The locals, despite that they are being affected by the earthquake, they are so generous. Grabe. They give us food after food, and their kind of serving is huge. So high moral naman kami sa Philippine team. We are, modesty aside, we are loved talaga. The mga tao so soft on us. Makatayo, tapos makita yung flag. Malambot sila sa amin. There was one time that one interpreter even asked for the Philippine flag to be put on his jacket. So that's how we are being regarded here. And the DOH at the same time, nakapagtayo sila ng tent wherein they cater to quite number of patients coming in. I saw it before my eyes because I'm also a doctor. They have sets of doctors na pinadala ni Secretary Esguerra. And grabe yung impact sa community. People come in bringing dito sa Philippine tent, sa Philippine camp, nag-sponsor ng mga food, lilinya kami, just because they find the Filipinos so warm, na we are nice to them, culturally nakaka-adjust kami, the way we handle the cadaver. Kasi siyempre Islamic country to,
Doc-
so there's a way of ano.
Dr.
And there's
Ted?
one time even
Dr. Ted,
MMDA.
sorry to interrupt you there. This is
Yeah.
Dr. Freddy Gomez. I know you're physically medyo nasa dangerous stage kayo, no? Being there. But aside from the physical dangers, yung team ba natin nasa peligro when it comes to other diseases?
That's part of my job and the part of the job also of DOH. The Department of Health gave us vitamins, no? Which I reminded my team being the safety officer of the urban search and rescue sa lahat. No? So umiinom kami ng vitamins, no? Binibigyan kami ng DOH. And at the same time, pinapasuot ko, when we work, pinapakover ko yung mouth and nose kasi sobrang alikabok because siyempre sa lamig sinisipon na kami. And then as much as possible yung hygiene namin, we have to be very clean also. Lately, the local government, no, through the coordination with our Philippine embassy, put up toilet intended for us kasi to tell you honestly, mahirap po ang toilet dito and too big. Pero dito na katatayo lang ngayon, nakaligo na nga kami for the first time in our lives, nakaligo na pa after several days. So they put up the toilet intended for the Philippine team. And ang DOH nag-come up sila ng isang stress debriefing, no, na para lang pinoprocess kami ng DOH na kumusta kami psychologically. So napakaganda ng aming battery of assembly ng Philippine contingent.
So, Doctor,
Yeah.
we're glad to hear that you guys are taking care of yourselves as best as you possibly can. That is so important. But regarding your mission, what is the focus of the mission right now? Have you transitioned from search and rescue to search and retrieval already?
Well, there is an instruction by the UN OTSA that is being given to us, no? So initially we were considered to perform ASR, no? ASR2, meaning pag sinabing assessment, search and rescue 2, sector assessment lang kami. Ang trabaho ng team is to triage the buildings, tapos pag may makita, if we can see some sort of like, kasi may live locator yung MMDA, doon bumubutas yung local. It's the local rescuers ang nag-bridge. But lately, tinutulungan namin sila kasi exhausted yung local. Actually, sa paghuhukay, ginagawa na rin ng Army, ng Air Force, ng SBME, ng MMDA, just to help the locals, no? It's like we adjust to things, no, what's needed on the ground. Even up to the point to tell you, yesterday, the Metro Manila Development Authority team had a talk with the chairman of MMDA. Sabi niya, are there stray dogs there? Sabi niya, oh yeah, there are stray dogs. So ang ginawa ng MMDA, sa guidance ni chairman, nag-feed ng mga stray dogs. As in, ang ganda, may pictures nga hindi lang na-send na. We also cater to stray dogs kasi siyempre, I don't know who the owners were, baka nadali or what. The dogs here are very big, are huge, but they're so nice, no? So, rin kami, we have this some sort of informal reconfigure ourselves depending on the needs on the ground, just to make ourselves more relevant to the needs of the people in Adiyaman. And there's also one episode wherein people were asking what kind of equipment are these. They are curious, even other countries, like I saw one Pakistani, Malaysian, and another American paramedic asking us of the equipage. And our MMDA team and other members of the contingent did some sort of orientation on our equipage to tell also that the Philippines, we are quite high-tech people when it comes to earthquake response. So napakaganda ng contingent na to kasi very colorful siya. Without much talk,
Yes.
everyone performs its job. No? Pag nakita medyo, halimbawa, doon nagpabakho yung local, may nagsisenyas na taga SPMA, tapos nag-aabang yung snake eyes. Yung snake eyes, kasi pag nakagawa kami ng konting butas, we have to put fiber optic scope. MMDA has that, and the Army. So they see to it na masilip yung ibaba para pag tira ng backhoe, hindi matamaan yung cadaver. No? So merong ganong gamit. And then, without much instruction from everyone, parang there was some sort of a teamwork with the locals also.
Yeah, Doctor,
And you know what's the good
speaking
thing?
of working
When we are
with
in the
Turkish
middle of the
teams
Ramos,
and actually teams from
When
all
we are
over
in
the
the-
world, Doctor, what have you learned that you could possibly apply here and teach other Filipino responders in case of a disaster on our shores?
Well, the application that we will learn is not only we have helped Turkey, but this is a lesson learned also for us to understand more being in the Pacific Ring of Fire. No? Ang makita natin dito is more on how we can enhance the collaboration amongst agency. It should be a partnership within the military and the non-military government agencies in responding. And at the same time, the interplay of the private sector. It should be all hands. And if we have this kind of all hands approach, looting will not set in. The downtime, not really the downtime, but the gap of, the availability of the critical utilities like water, like electricity, maibigay kaagad katulad dito, no? Meron kaagad kaming kuryente, we can enjoy the signal right now, that's why I'm able to talk to you. So importante yung interplay nito. And we can enhance that by putting up our strength together. So dito interplay ng mga agencies ang ganda din. So I think that's the best lesson that I can tell our countrymen and our policymakers down there.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ted, for joining us this morning, and thank you for what you're doing there so much and your team.